Hello, Entheos again. I just wanted to ask if anybody has time. I open for the purpose of the highest good, myself to your intent that you would help me with my awful diet, because it's terrible, and the worst part of it is it's so grounding. On the one hand, I guess you could look at it, it's better being grounding than totally throws you to the clouds all the time. I don't necessarily agree with that. But I eat too much. I eat too heavily. I had lost a lot of weight a few months ago, and I felt great, but then when I look at how I did it, it was kind of artificial too. I have a real hard time with the concept of eating a diet mainly of fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and maybe light meat. I'm not a vegan, and I do love garlic and onions. Oops. The slave food. But the garlic and onions are not the primary problem. For me, I think the energy channeling of whatever modality you're looking into, or whatever I'm looking into, I suppose I should say, will be hindered more by the quantity and general quality of the food than it would be by whether it's got garlic or onions in it. That's like a last, how you can run and you can, let's say you lose 20 pounds and your goal is 21. Well, sometimes that 20 pounds comes off quickly, and the 1 is just like that extra bit you want to shave off at the end. It's like refining. All that to say, I'm not really worrying about garlic and onions. And I guess with enough energy flow, you could push through that stupid filter and you can actually blow it out. And I'm looking into different ways of cleansing. If you have any ideas, please send me a message or comment down below. Just in general, though, think about it. If you've got any time and just want to say, hey, anything else you can do it, just give me some cheerleading, please, because it's really hard. I'm living by myself now. So I realized this morning my entire diet is literally in my control. If I wanted to eat nothing but apples and bell peppers, raw, just chomp them all day, there's no one stopping me. So that means I'm also the one making the choices to load myself up with awful things. And the thing is, the awful things don't even taste so good anymore. I guess it's just addiction. A lot of things are addictive, aren't they? This is a problem I have. So if you have any ideas for very easy, very inexpensive, let's just say vegan meals, I'm open to suggestions. Or even if you kind of more like a grazing vegan snack diet where you're basically just grazing all day and not having these big lumps of food mass up in your stomach, because that's not helpful either. It takes away too much blood from the rest of you, in my opinion. I have enough blood. So that's it. I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't think I'm the only one that has that problem. I know that there are many people who are aware of, shall we just say, the invisible multiverse, who are already at a point where they're eating well, they're spending a lot of time in meditative situations, altered states of consciousness, prayer, whatever you want to call that. So there's an assumption, I feel there's an assumption on the part of a lot of people who would be teachers or leaders that everybody's doing it. And the truth is, I don't think that's right. I think we can talk all day about how our diet is messing up some stuff. And it's not just about energy work, and it's not just about a Kadawa having an easier path, or removing a filter to absorb the energies of the universe. Whatever. That's not the point. Or the only point. The other point is it's just freaking bad for your three-dimensional body. I mean, we have what we have. And I confess that I have not taken care of it as well as I could have. So I would encourage you guys too. I mean, I'm not going to make a judgment on what you eat, but I'm going to throw a die, a 20-sided die, and I'm going to roll a 20 because it's going to say not everybody that watches this video is eating well. And I'm not saying turn into a vegan. I love my burgers. too much. But there's no excuse to, well, this is not actually true, but to put it in that kind of context, yeah, I love them, but there's no excuse to eat 4 burgers a day as my entire diet, or anybody's. So I'm with you on this one. I agree that you are going to be able to do that, and that whatever you eat, it's going to be used by your body in just the right way, and you're going to get rid of stuff, and I am too. It's just going to come out. Let's just say, by intent, let's just say that by intent we're going to open up those paths, and those are really physical paths. There's no doubt about it. Let's not focus so much on the higher things that our lower things turn into garbage, which is, I think, where I'm at. I've always been up here somewhere, and now as I'm really trying to reconnect down the middle, I need to start making some changes. Do you have any changes that you need to make? I'm like LeVar Burton. But you don't have to take my word for it. Reading Rainbow, some of you are too young. That's just my kind of plea for help. I think that would be a big deal. And again, I'm not talking about the garlic and onions. I'm talking about the 40-pound iceberg of everything else that the garlic and onions are sitting on top. This may be a problem, but this little piece might be a problem, but this is a big problem. So I want to eliminate some of that. I'm not even worrying about that. The discussion about garlic and onions has to happen between people for which it will be the most important thing. If you eat 6,000 calories a day and you drop your diet down to 3,000 calories, that's still a hell of a lot too much, but it's a lot less relatively. So if you're able to maintain something and you don't feel weird about it, then you're in a good place. Like me, I feel okay about it, but I'm in a bad place. And as patterns are formed, it's harder to change to a pattern. It's harder to change to a pattern that is radically different. And one could argue that, well, but when you're eating, you're just putting stuff in your mouth. Sure, but would you rather, ask yourself honestly, would you really rather eat a freshly baked, warm and chewy chocolate chip cookie? Or would you rather grab a carrot and eat it? And I'm not saying dip it into ranch. I'm going to confess I want the cookie. I'm not saying I won't eat the carrot, but I want that cookie. I think we all have cookies we need to stop eating. Stop eating your cookies. Help me out. Love you.